Hi there, Sagittarius. Welcome to Eyes to See Tarot and your general freestyle for the upcoming weeks ahead. This is a general reading and not necessarily centered around love and relationships, but if it comes up in the spread, I'll be sure to let you know. Right now, I'm looking into your current energy, Sag, so let's just take a look at what could be going on with you, maybe a little bit in the past, just to kind of get a handle on exactly where you're at. Can I see a little bit about what's going on with my Sagittarius? And that's how it came out too. Okay, so I got the Ten of Swords and the Four of Pentacles. Oh. Okay, so there's something that you're kind of recovering from. There's something that you're getting over. Something had like reached the end, right? And it's something that you're still not ready to let go of. Like thoughts, yes. I'm kind of getting over it. In fact, you know, most of the time I can't even really remember why I'm mad. You ever have one of those arguments with the people, right? And, you know, 10 years later, you just know that you don't like them, but you really don't remember what the initial problem was. What was the initial fight about? That's what this reminds me of. So if you're dealing with something like this in your most recent past or in your current, this is probably your reading. You know, I might not be your reader because I have an unorthodox way of doing things, looking at things, and talking about things. But this is probably your reading. Anyway, all right, the bottom of the deck, I also have the Eight of Swords. There's something that you are starting to see. What is it? What is it? Okay, now look, your current energies are your freshly uncovered energies. Let's see, let me tell you how you feel. There's a little bit of an emptiness, right? But courageous, kind of like it's a lot more about how it looks on the outside. It really is. There's a little bit of a longing. The Ace of Cups in reverse and the King of Wands, right? Especially with that, like I don't remember why I'm fighting with you, but I know I'm mad, and I know that I'm not going to break that stance, you know, physically or externally, but there's I miss you more than I'm angry, right? At this time. The Star, there's a little bit, I'm a little uncomfortable. A little, you ever flashed out in public and it seemed like a really good idea at the time, but then after you've said all you've said, you're like, oh my God, all those people heard me. You know, all these people saw me. It's kind of the energy, the feeling, but not necessarily the situation. So I got the Six of Wands, right? There's a feeling of victory, like you feel like you're honestly starting to feel like a situation has not repaired itself, but kind of made its point. You know, Five of Pentacles in reverse. Six of Swords. Like you do, and you keep going back to the situation physically. Because now I'm known as the victor, and now I'm known as the winner. Like I really don't remember why I'm fighting, but I know that I won. And I've got to keep that I've got to keep that heavyweight champion's belt on my wall, right? But like my mind is healed from it. My thought process has healed from it. I'm no longer carrying the burdens of the animosity and the ill will and feelings. So I'm moving away from it there, right? Three of Swords in reverse, and it's another card of internal mental healing. And the Four of Wands in reverse, that's another card of physical, external discord, right? So for all intents and purposes, Sag, it looks like you are, I'm keeping up with the Joneses per se, and acts, and how I go about things, right? I'm standing my ground physically, but mentally, emotionally, like I'm really over it, and I really miss this person. So let's get a little bit deeper. I want to go ahead and look at your person. What is going on with your person? What's going on with Sagittarius's person? Who is this person, Sagittarius? And are they over it? What's going on with my Sagittarius? I mean, what's going on with my Sagittarius's person? Please forgive me. They could be trying to get your forgiveness, and that's probably what's actually getting you to release it mentally, is because you genuinely feel the vibration coming off of them is actually genuinely repentative, like actually. Now, whether they've said it, whether they've outwardly said it, I think that you kind of feel that. Let's see, they remember happier times with the Six of Cups here. They remember like the good times, and but with the King of Swords here and the Seven of Wands, right? Mentally, they're still a little bit sour and defensive, right? I mean, you might have come across very, very harshly to get your point across. You might have like come across very, very strong, and apparently, according to how you're acting and reacting externally, like, you might have come across as it might have been a little bit of an overkill in all actuality. Excessive use of force, a vulgar display of power in their eyes, and they're just a little bit, still defensive, but you're not giving them any reason to not be defensive. You see, you haven't given them any physical cues that you had released it. You might be thinking it in your head, you might be reminiscing at it, but you're not telling anybody, and you're not showing the signs outwardly. So of course they're still defensive. At the bottom of the deck, it's the Ace of Pentacles. Like they're not trying to come, they're not trying to impede on you. They're not trying to knock at your door, ask for an apology, ask you to go someplace like old times. So like they're not. They know their place, and they're in it. They're not expecting you to turn about. They're not expecting anything from you at this time. Do you have something else for me? I mean, I hate to be like that, but I see justice, right? So in this situation, maybe it's that they feel justice is served. Could be a Libra. They feel justice is served, or they've seen everything that they need to see. They understand the situation. They understand how you feel about it. And they're not going to try to get you to change your mind. I think they kind of respect your truth, your internal, external, whatever kind of truth, something that you were willing to stand your ground on, right? And they respect that boundary, and that's that, But like if you came up to them, I think that they would be kind of still wearing the wound and kind of still being a little defensive, going, oh shit, here Sag comes again, Like they don't expect you to let it go. They don't expect you to come up and offer anything. Apparently, according to them, it's pretty sealed, but how they feel about you is not, it's not a calm, dismissive water under the bridge. It's still fresh for them. you know, like defensive, intimidated, negative aspect. They probably think you're a bit of an ass, you know, a little bit of a meanie. They do. And I don't think their opinion is going to change, because I'm not necessarily sure that you're ever even interested in changing that opinion for them. They're like, you think I'm mean? Good. Stay out of my way. Stay out of my business. You know, stay over there. Maybe you don't want this person back necessarily. Mentally, you romanticizing it. Mentally, you're thinking about it. Mentally, they miss you. But I don't think either one of you are in any kind of headspace or any kind of desired space to go ahead and see if the other has changed or try it again. It's a very dogmatic, like the Hangman in reverse and the Page of Pentacles in reverse both kind of lead me to believe that I don't want to see things from your way. I don't need to see things from your way. I needed to erect a boundary between us, right? Because it was apparent that you were incapable of being empathetic to, you know, warning signs or ideas or hints or who I was as a person, that you thought you could pull that off. Now, I don't know what they tried to do, and I don't know what you tried to do, but I do see the longing for each other. I do see, I love these cards, but they're so slippery. Those are those PVC cards. I love them. Let's see what else we got. Can I see a little bit from my Sagittarius? Sagittarius, I kind of feel like this is a space that you're not completely confident in. Right? Like, I've erected this boundary, I've created this boundary, but my circle, my bubble, used to be around you. Like, we were in the bubble, and now I've moved my bubble to kind of exclude you. So I'm not necessarily in my most comfort zone. But you know what, Sagittarius, I think you can. I think you will. It's just currently, it might be a little foreign, it might be a little strange, it might be a little uncomfortable, right? It might feel that way. But I think that you're going to be fine. I think you're going to be able to persevere. Like, for all intents and purposes, the situation is done. Like, you've picked your path, you know, you stood your ground. And that's pretty all right. Okay, so do I have any other messages for my Sagittarius? This can't be the only thing going on in their life. What other messages do I have? Oh, you have a lot going on, actually. This is just one. This is just one thing. This is just a drop in a bucket. So can you tell me, going back to it, you're all right there, right? So, yeah, you have a lot of things going on now, but for the most part, you're pretty precise in your decision-making skills. You're pretty on a good foot, making good decisions. Secrets or hidden things are coming to light, exposing themselves. You're not in any, there's no hidden dangers around you. They're kind of letting themselves be known a little bit. And you're getting back to, you're able to go back to a place of satiety, independence, emotional independence, right? Okay. So if Sagittarius doesn't need any other help besides this thing, can I see a little bit more? There's that let it go again. Okay. But can I see a little bit more anyway about this Nine of Pentacles in reverse? Nine of Pentacles in reverse, please. How's this going to play out? How's this little strange, uncomfortable feeling going to play out for my Sagittarius? It's not really. Not necessarily. Okay, so immersing yourself in work. Learned your lesson. I'm not sticking my neck out anymore. I'm not going down those paths anymore. Like pretty much for anybody, I've kind of left it behind. I'm moving behind. I pretty much learned my lesson. But everything still kind of feels very empty. Looks good on the outside. Doesn't necessarily feel as good as it looks. Something is missing. Something is missing. Let's go see what it is. Okay, so you're going to be able to manifest this missing piece into your life. I'm not going to say that's easy, because if I don't even know what I'm missing, how do I call it into existence? Do I just keep calling things into it? Do I feel like ice cream? Or do I feel like deviled eggs? Do I feel like coffee? Or do I feel like orange juice? You know, like it just seems like if I don't necessarily know what to name this animal that is supposed to be in this enclosure, then how do I go about hunting it? Like, I don't know. So, Sagittarius, there's going to be a little bit of experimentation for you. I'm not saying it's in the upcoming weeks. I am saying in the upcoming future, though. There's going to be a little creativity process in Sagittarius. You're pretty good at that. So I imagine that it's going to be a little bit of trial and error, trying to figure out exactly what that missing puzzle piece is for you, you know? And it's possible that this person was all in all kind of like a distraction, a complacency, a distraction, something keeping you tethered to a version of yourself that you were supposed to have outgrown a long time ago, you know? Let's see. That was interesting. I see Justice. The Tower in reverse, which wasn't. It was the one before it and the one after it, huh? Because the one in the middle didn't. So let's do that. Justice and the Three of Wands in reverse. So for the most part, like, I don't think you know to even wait for it. Like, I know it's missing, but I'm not expecting anybody just to hand deliver it. I was kind of worried about it. It's a procrastination. I'm going to sit there and complain and worry about it, but I'm never going to do anything to get the ball rolling, or, you know what I'm saying? It just seems like one of those things where it is a little bit of a defense thing. And in this situation, it's not going to be a defense mechanism as much as it's going to be like maybe an insecurity, right? If I never try, then I'll never fail. And if I really don't know what I'm after, then who's to say I'm not delusional for even saying that something's missing? You understand what I'm saying? I'd say it's a failure to launch, but it's not necessarily. To me, it feels more like I'd rather just not try at all and go without it than try and fail for something that I don't even know what it is, so I don't know what its benefits is. I don't know what I'm missing by not having it. You know, it's like trying to explain the color blue to a blind person. Huh. That's an oldie but goodie. I used to use that analogy all the time. It's trying to explain the color blue to a blind person. Can I have a little bit more, please? Tell me a little bit more about Sagittarius's little endeavor. What are the possibilities? Can you give me some hints of probably what Sagittarius is missing or what they are searching for? That internal quest? Rest, peace, quiet, safety. With the Four of Swords here, it's a quieting. It's just a general feeling of peace, you know? A healing from any past heartbreaks and a standing or laying on the truth. Being able to actually lay with the truth. Is you made your bed, now you lie in it. And Sagittarius, you love your bed. That is what you're missing. You're missing that all in all peace. It's possible, but with you not necessarily knowing what it is or how to attain it or that it is attainable, then how do you go about seeking it? Do you understand? It's an ordeal. It's a thing. Okay. Okay, with the Lovers in reverse, I'm sitting here going, peace from decisions that you've made that you don't necessarily agree with or you think that they were wrong, right? There's a possibility that it's a woulda, coulda, shoulda kind of peace. Like, I wish I would have done this. I wish I would have gone to college. I wish I would have told that person how I felt. I wish I wouldn't have listened to that person. I wish I would have trusted my gut, and now it's too late. I feel like the situation has eluded me, and these things are haunting because I think my life would have been completely different had I done these things. And I think that without you knowing that you can actually attain peace from those situations and that idea, you're never going to actually search for it or understand it. But there is, you know, interesting. So what would be Sagittarius's steps? What would be the grand rising flag of Sagittarius's peace and well-being? How do you put the past to rest? How do you... Okay, so I have the Ten of Wands, I have the Six of Wands, and I have the Star. It's a taking them on as your own, right? Okay, so defending the decisions that you feel like even you were forced to make, defending your decisions as your own is your key to freedom. Taking responsibility for, even if it is somebody else's decision, like they were like, do this, do that, jump with one foot, slam the door, run in circles, quit your job, like whatever it is. The key to peace and being able to move forward is to actually accept the burdens as your own, no matter even how uncomfortable or silly or weird it sounds or you look, right? Accepting the burdens as your own allows you to, I don't know, own them, take responsibility for them and then release it, because we're actually apt to be a little bit more self-forgiving if we allow ourselves to. And the Seven of Wands in reverse, the Four of Swords, right? The Three of Pentacles. It is going to take some overwhelming amounts of allowing a situation or situations to overtake you, right? It's going to require a certain amount of vulnerability to yourself. I'm not saying to anybody else. It's going to take a certain amount of vulnerability. Like, I have to actually breathe when I'm doing yoga, or that muscle's never going to stretch. It's never going to release. I'm never going to get airflow or oxygen to those muscles, so I'm going to stay rigid and stuck. I'm never going to gain the flexibility unless I actually just take a deep breath and roll that shoulder open. Do you understand? I don't know if you do, but to me it kind of makes sense, because I've done it before and I've had to do it before. So I'm not necessarily telling you to do something that I would never do. I'm telling you to do something that I am faced with doing quite often, right? That's in order to find peace. Now, if this message eludes you, like I said, it's not time yet. Worry about what is in front of you and what is going on. But if you find yourself on the end of this little rodeo, on the end of this little carousel, and you are wanting to take that next step and find what you feel like you're lacking, what would make you feel more comfortable, it is behind this really, really weird, uncomfortable, invasive feeling. It is. All right, Sagittarius, that's about all I have for you right now and today. If you enjoyed the reading, please like, comment, subscribe. Do hit the bell if you want to be informed next time I upload. And thanks for letting me hang out with you. It's a pleasure as always. Thanks for coming to Eyes to See Tarot.